Hey everyone, it's the Eclectic Handyman here today with a new older stock Craftsman Made in the USA Eclectic haul. Let's check it out. All right, so I have picked up these items at various times, sometimes along with another purchase, but they are recent and I wanted to just kind of put them together and talk about what I ended up buying here. So let's kind of go from left to right. Let's take a look. I think I had gotten these for my birthday a while back. It's pretty standard. I mean, most folks already have these. This is a 6-piece power wood boring bit set. Goes from 3/8 all the way up to 1 inch. This is Craftsman part number, let's get the glare out of there, 920864. And yes, indeed, made in the USA. This is a great set. I have another set that is not Craftsman. It's rusted a little bit, and these do dull out depending on how much you use them. I don't use them a lot. It's like a lot of tools or bits or whatever. When you need them, you need them. Just the first thing that comes to mind, you get like some planter's pot, for out in the, with flowers or whatever, and it needs to drain out water. You'll need to use something like this to drill it out, put holes in the bottom. If you need to, recently I was working on some wood where I needed to put a pole through for support. So I used one of these in my other set. So it was nice. This was a really good deal for a Made in the USA set. This is pretty old school Craftsman packaging too. So pretty nice. All right, next up. These are a real throwback to when I was even a kid with my first wrench set. These are Sears Craftsman wrench organizer. They're hard molded plastic, part number 965272. This particular time, I got 4 of them, and they were a really good deal. They normally go for quite a bit more than I paid. I think for all 4, I paid probably less than 20, which you can't even get the ones at the store now for that cheap, whether it's Harbor Freight or Sears. The one thing I will say, yes, it is made in the USA. One of the things about them is I think even the new ones from Stanley Black Decker are also still made in the USA. So that's kind of cool. Some of you may recognize these. Now, what I will say is they are very good for the standard wrenches that, I have this set hanging on the wall. They work really, really nicely for this because this hard plastic to that type of wrench makes absolutely no difference. The only place I do not prefer these, and I have one right here, are with polished wrenches. Because when you do slide these in, the hard plastic, and I'm not actually sliding all the way down, but you can imagine it will mar the polished wrenches. So I tend to only like these for a traditional wrench style as opposed to a polish. I'll use something a little less abrasive. And actually, you've seen in my other video, I have this style that's like foam. These are pretty nice. They're a little less marring for that type of polished wrench. But nonetheless, got those. They're a great deal, and I'll be able to fill them up with some of the wrenches that I have. All right. This set right here is, I'm sure people have these as well, the well-known Craftsman, or you have your own brand, what they call deck out or screw and bolt remover set. This is made in the USA, and the part number is 52151. I think I paid a little too much for this. I think I paid like $30, and you see this floating around all the time for less than half of that. The one thing I'm going to say about these, and I'm really interested, please leave comments below. I have never in my life had these work. And yes, I have a reverse drill bit set, even though the directions don't require them. I go at slow speed, high torque, but I can never, ever get these to work. The way they're intended to work is that this top right here is supposed to bite into the bit after you've got a stripped out like screw on the top, maybe a Phillips head or whatever type of top head. And you can't use whatever screw or slotted head or whatever's in there. So you drill it out and then you use this to bite down and then slowly remove it. And I did get this recently, but I went ahead, something I ran into, I think on the deck, and I tried it. I've had other versions from like Harbor Freight over the years. Did not work. Did not work. Did not work. I had to go to another means. It's got to be operator error, but please, if you've ever used a set like this is not about the Craftsman set specifically. And these are pretty nice. They have 1, 2, and 3 sizes. There's 2 different sizes, so it works on a lot of different screws that might be, as it says, damaged screws or broken bolts. But let me know if you've ever had success. Maybe I need to make a video on that. I think I've watched it, but nonetheless, I have it. Who knows? One day, maybe it will work. All right, these two, this is so funny. Okay, so this is a 3/8 to 1/2 inch adapter. It's Craftsman made in the USA, 4258. This is actually, it's hard to see, an H series, a little unusual. And I want to show you this other one. It's the exact same thing, but this one is a little bit older, which is a G series. By the way, just a reminder, I use the word series a lot. It's technically identifying the manufacturer of it. I use it synonymously. All right, so anyway, I had forgotten that I got this, I believe, as another part of a purchase. And when do you ever need this? Well, here's the deal. 3/8, and you want a larger size 1/2 inch, maybe for leverage or a particular spot. It's just one of those things, again, when you need it, you need it. You're like, oh, I need a 1/2 inch socket, but you know, I'm using this 3/8 inch maybe because of clearance. And so this is when you need one of these adapters. And recently I was working on the car and needed one. I had forgotten I bought one and it was sitting here waiting to show in the video. So I went ahead and ordered another one, and now I've got 2. And it's kind of stinky because the other one that I bought, it was claimed new older stock, but as you can see in there, well, it might be new older stock. It's a G series, little bit of rust. I can use the Evapo rust to get that out probably. I didn't pay too much to it. I think it was like $8 or $9, including shipping. But this one that I already had, I didn't have it from old. I actually had bought it. Again, I just hadn't put it in one of these Eclectic hauls yet. But this one is an immaculate, brand new condition. But again, I think the H series is much newer than obviously the G series. Not as quite as old as like V, but it's still, you know, a little bit newer. All right, here in the back, this is a Craftsman Professional air compressor, air filter, and silencer combo. And yes, this is indeed, because I first thought it might be imported, but it was made in the USA. And it talks about, you know, how it has a filter. It'll works, I think, a little better than the stock filter. Take a look over here on the compressor. You can see where the stock version is. This is like a beefed up version. I paid less than $25 for this, including shipping. And if interested, the part number is 916406. Again, this will work great on my Craftsman Professional air compressor. I have taken immaculate care of my compressor. It has lasted years and years and continues to provide me great work with pneumatic tools. I know that's kind of old school. I have another video upcoming with some of the new Craftsman battery hand tools that I've gotten, but I still have impact wrenches, and obviously I've been working on the deck with that Milwaukee air framing nailer, and so I still do use air tools from time to time. So that actually compressor is oil, an oil compressor, not an oilless, so it doesn't tend to be that loud in the first place, but you can never go wrong with a good air filtration system. All right, little tool here. What I've got is a metric screw pitch gauge. It is, oh, this one, oh, we got a little surprise right here. I thought I had looked, but I didn't. This one is made in China. This is not made in the USA. All right, but we're not going to take it out of this video because this still is old school Craftsman. This is not Stanley Black Decker. Let's take a look here. So it talks about, it has the measurement thread counts 0.45 to 2.5 millimeter. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the package and then just pull this out right here. And it's got all these little tiny gauges that can measure, and it will say directly on them like there we go, 1.25. Here's another one right here. It says 2.0 and 3.0, just trying to get the screw pitch on the threads. So kind of a unique tool. I did not spend hardly anything. I think $2 or $3 on it. It is for metric. There's probably better ways to check what size screw, but here's another way with this pitch gauge. So pretty neat. All right, Last but not least, this is pretty cool. And we have here, this is going straight to the car. This is a 42-piece Craftsman made in the USA, new older stock set. And it has an array of tools in here. Here's the screwdriver right here. We've got made in the USA. This one's part number 43373. I actually have one of these in the toolbox. The only thing that's not made in the USA in this set is the actual case. It's bold right here. It says made in China. But all of the sockets, these are all 1/4-inch sockets. And so just like peeking through there, there's the 9mm. It looks like to be G2 series on those. We've got some of the bits for the screwdriver right here. We've got a couple. We've got a 1/4-inch Craftsman made in the USA standard socket wrench. This is part number 44807. I mean, I've already got this in the toolbox as well. And how you adapt it, because we've got 3/8-inch sockets. It's got the little adapter here, the 3/8-inch Craftsman made in the USA 4257. This is a 1/4-inch to 3/8-inch adapter so that these 3/8-inch sockets right here can be used. And so these are all, again, new older stock. There's a couple of loose ones here. Looks like we got an 11-piece hex key set. Of course, this is how you always end up getting up to the higher tool set counts. If you ever see something like 350-piece Craftsman set, oftentimes it'll be a whole bunch of like filler type things. We've got a couple of wrenches in here. I don't care what they are. I'll end up throwing in a 10mm, but we got a 1/2-inch and 9/16. And then what do we got here? We've got the 7/16 and 3/8. And is there anything else hiding in there? Nope. Looks like that's everything. Those must be the popular standard size sets for cars. Again, this set would have been much older because, again, it's all made in the USA. This is a great set, though, to have in the car, like as a little emergency set, just to, you know, if you need to do something quickly, this will get you out of a bind. Or if you need to help somebody out, you're not going to change tire with it, obviously, or anything. But, you know, if a hose comes off or you need to check something real quickly, great set to stick in the trunk. And you know, it's better quality too. I really didn't pay that much. I think I got this once upon a time for like $40. That's not much different than if you got like a Pittsburgh set from Harbor Freight or something like that. And this is much, much better quality. And so, I mean, the darn thing is super heavy. So some pretty good tools in there. Anyway, I think it's pretty cool. From the wood boring bit set, we got the wrench organizers, the deck out set, the 2 adapters. One I didn't actually need. I didn't pay attention. I've got the metric screw pitch gauge that'll stick there in case I ever need that. The air compressor, filter, silencer, and the 42-piece mechanic set that I'm going to stick in the car. Pretty cool array of Eclectic, made in the USA, new older stock items, sans that one that I had an oversight. But other than that, pretty cool to get into this. Anyway, I have a bunch more videos like this on the channel, so if you like it, look around. There'll be some recommended here at the end. I cover a lot of new older stock Craftsman items that I pick up, and I do use all of my tools. I hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, this is the Eclectic Candyman. We'll see you later.